We're dealing with some freezing rain in the area, meaning travel tomorrow will be slick.
Yeah, we appreciate you spending some time with us here at the top of the hour. WTOL 11 team of meteorologists, they have been telling us that this alert day was coming. Several schools have already called off for tomorrow or called in for delays. You can see those at the bottom of the screen right now.
We also have meteorologist John Birchfield in studio giving us an update, as well as Steve Iwanek keeping an eye on those roadways tonight. Let's start with John. John, what issues can we expect in the morning?
It's really going to be those travel impacts that we're pinpointing, and those are already occurring with freezing drizzle and freezing rain impacting the region. We're expecting ice from now through about 12 noon on Thursday, so the next 12 hours or so are going to be hazardous. Ice totals in the ballpark of 1/10 to 1/1500ths of an inch are expected. That's not enough to cause any widespread power outages, but it is going to slow travel. Now look on Doppler radar. You don't see this every day. There are lightning and thunder reports in some of that ice. Essentially, that layer of warm air that's allowing freezing rain to develop has produced a bit of instability in the atmosphere. The big story, though, is really the impacts. I'm already noticing that sheen or shine on the roads. This is 475 at Talmadge, so it's a well-traveled road, and it still looks a bit slippery from some of our live cameras. Low pressure is rolling into southern Indiana, and that is prompting a number of wintry weather impacts, including winter weather advisories. Now, these extend until 10 o'clock a.m. Thursday. I think there could still be a couple more hours of slippery travel, but it should be getting better by lunchtime. And as I pointed out, freezing rain occurring with thunder and lightning due to that instability in the atmosphere. No severe weather, but that is some of the locations that are seeing the heaviest icing currently between Defiance and Van Wert down towards Muncie, Indiana. That is where the steadiest ice is ongoing. Our alert day continues tomorrow morning as we have ice that is going to slow down that drive, and temperatures will be warming up, melting away the ice by midday. Another storm system comes in on Saturday. I've got the timing of that one coming up in just a bit.
Well, the freezing rain is coming our way, as you just heard, and that means roads could get tricky on your way to work or school in the morning.
So the Ohio Department of Transportation says it is doing its best to get the salt down. You saw the brine lines earlier today, wanting to get it clear for that morning commute.
Steve Iwanek is live in Maumee at ODOT's Lucas County Garage. Steve, drivers there must be busy.
They certainly are. We've seen a steady flow of them over the last hour or so coming in and refilling their truck beds with salt as they head their way back out onto the roadways. And they'll be doing that over the next 12 hours to make sure that your morning commute, whether it's to work or to school, can be as safe as it can be. But combating ice can be a tricky thing, especially out in our rural areas, in our viewing area. Kind of like it's going to affect school districts, kind of like Otsego Local Schools, who I talked with their superintendent earlier today. And he told me that since they are one of the largest school districts in Wood County in terms of mileage, they have a lot of stops that they have to make in the morning. So when you have ice on the roads and you have so many kids to pick up, that increases the chances that you're going to have a lot of buses sliding. It's a severe concern that Superintendent Kevin O'Shea says they're going to take very seriously when determining whether they're going to have school or not.
You just get a massive object that weighs a lot of weight, and once it starts skidding and can't come to a stop, you get a lot of danger there, right? And again, with snow, the buses are so heavy. I mean, it's like a tank. I mean, they'll run right over the snow with no effect. But ice, again, you get that bus moving and it can't come to a stop, we've got a big problem.
Well, if you've seen at the bottom of your screen, and if you're anybody from Otsego that's been watching our show so far, you understand that just about an hour ago they announced they have a 2-hour delay, so enjoy a little bit of extra sleep in the morning. But these crews, they're not going to be getting much sleep overnight. They're going to be working hard to get the salt down on the roadways. We're joined now by Public Information Officer for ODOT, Kelsey Hoagland. Kelsey, thank you so much, by the way, for braving these elements with us. Let's talk about the work being done right now. This is an all-out effort by your team to make sure that these roads are safe.
That's absolutely right. You see a truck that's arriving here right now that's going to get salt refilled. So yes, we've had our crews that were actually pre-treating the roadways even a couple of days ago. And we've had our crews out since noon today treating the roadways with salt so that we have that layer of defense out on the road.
You know, some people might overlook the fact that you were doing this days in advance to try and make sure these roads are safe. How important is it, that pre-preparation, not just doing it the day of when you know that this winter weather's coming?
Yeah, well, especially when we have that brine, which is that water and salt combination, that actually helps us get that, like I said, that defense layer on the roadway, but it provides a coating that actually is consistent. You see those white chalky stripes, but then as the days go by, they kind of blend into just being a chalky roadway. That's actually very helpful. That's that layer of defense that we're talking about. So when precipitation begins to hit, we have something that is immediately working.
You know, our meteorologist, John Birchfield, always tells people, give these trucks space on the roadways. Don't get too close. They're doing doing such important work to make sure that your drive is safe. What tips, outside of just giving people space, would you give to drivers on the road as they wake up and get off to work and to school potentially?
Certainly, yes. The most important thing, please give our plows the room to work. We say don't crowd the plow, and that's very, very important to us. So give them space, but give yourself that space and the time, importantly, to leave early so that you can have space and time for yourself. But remember, ice is unforgiving. You cannot stop on a dime. Our trucks cannot stop on a dime. So make sure you have a space cushion is very important. Like you said with the buses as well. All big vehicles are going to have a difficult time, just like small cars. So really giving yourself that space cushion is very important.
Kelsey, thank you so much for sticking with us throughout the night. Take her advice and make sure you take the advice of our WTOL11 weather team. They'll keep you informed throughout the rest of the night and into the early morning. But for now, from me, Steve Iwanek, WTOL 11.
All right, thanks, Steve. Make sure you have the WTOL 11 weather app downloaded to your phone. You can track the hour-by-hour forecast. Our weather team sends updates to it daily. The app is available for free in your app store.